Johannes Gutenberg, 1400 to 1486. Give me 26 soldiers of lead, and I shall conquer the world. It was a time of flourishing arts. My father, a merchant, and my mother, a shopkeeper. I was a born businessman and saw many interesting merchandise from faraway lands. As a child, I collected any wooden printing stamps I could find. I became a goldsmith and sold polished gems as religious relics for the church for many years. I could sell anything I wanted by convincing people they needed whatever I had to sell. At that time, the church was starting to sell indulgences to rich sinners who could afford to buy them. Indulgences were lengthy, handwritten certificates absolving the named sinner from certain sins. They were written on paper and had the same lengthy text. All were the same except for the name of the person being pardoned and the place and date of pardon. The indulgences took great effort to prepare, and they were very costly, so only the rich could afford them. I convinced the bishop that indulgences could be provided to the masses too poor to pay for them by stamping them instead of writing them individually. I forged 26 small stamps representing the 26 letters by carving them on clay tablets. I then poured lead into the carvings to make molds of the letters. Then I aligned the lead pieces to form text on one big stamp. Now, instead of a monk having to take many days to prepare an indulgence, I was able to print it out in 4 seconds. Indulgences were then marketed to the masses at prices they could afford. This business project proved very successful. I gained many contracts in the church and ended up printing Bibles. They were all in Latin, and except for a few priests, no one could read them. Martin Luther, 1483 to 1546. We are at fault for not slaying them. It was a time of profuse learning. My father wanted me to be a lawyer, and he got me enrolled in the law faculty of a respected university in Germany. Without his knowledge, I changed faculties and studied philosophy instead. I especially liked Aristotle's way of thinking, but unlike Aristotle, who insisted on testing everything by experiments, I felt everything should be tested by experience. While Aristotle claimed everything was knowable with reason, I felt that God was only knowable by experiencing divine revelation and understanding his written word, the Bible. So I became a priest and read and studied the Bible. I developed a different view of the Bible from that of my church. I believed that sin cannot be bought off by buying indulgences, nor can it be given by priests in confession. The Bible clearly stated that sin is always forgiven by repentance and faith in Jesus. I translated the Bible into German, the spoken language of the common people. I used Gutenberg's old printing press to print the Bible to be read by the masses for the very first time. I challenged the Pope's authority by claiming the Bible as an infallible source from God, and I was excommunicated from the church. I made so much money selling the Bible that I bought the printing presses that Gutenberg used to print indulgences and printed pamphlets to denounce them. Many people reading the Bible for the first time had a differing interpretation of the Bible. Like me, they felt that Jesus deserved more exaltation and felt Mary, his mother, was unduly glorified. Like me, they also felt luxurious temples filled with gold statues and paintings of nude ladies were not appropriate as churches. Many priests from the church did not like to lead a celibate life and wanted to openly have families. So with time, priests broke away from the church and built their own less pretentious temples. They got rid of the nude statues and pictures and got married. They protested and were called Protestants. At 42 years of age, I married a 26-year-old nun. We had 6 children who all did very well. The nobility supported me and my family by giving us a monastery to live in and introducing me to influential contacts who granted me profitable printing contracts. Whenever there were uprisings by peasants, they paid me to provide anti-rebellion propaganda to quell riots. Jesus became a very powerful force in my life, and I tried to convert Jews to accept him as their Messiah. The more the Jews stubbornly refused to accept Jesus, the more I saw Jews as a cancer that must be eradicated from Germany. I printed many pamphlets calling for marking all Jews by making them wear a yellow armband. Later, I even proposed burning their homes to force them out from our society. Soon after, I started calling for their extermination. My heart stopped beating.